We know all the new names on Causeway Street with the Celtics, with the trade with Brooklyn. What we don't know is how is it going to fit for Rajon Rondo and Brad Stevens, and that probably dictates the season. I'm Kevin Dupont for Globe 10.0, here with our extraordinary beat man, Baxter Holmes. What do you say?
Well, it's certainly maybe the biggest question heading into the season, even more than the fact that Brad Stevens doesn't have any NBA experience.
Yeah.
Rondo is certainly a mercurial point guard, very strong-headed. But I think the
That's
one
a
thing,
good word for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to put it lightly,
would be another one.
I mean, this was a guy who Doc Rivers once called into his office and said, "You know, none of your teammates can stand you, right?" So, but I think the fact is, Brad and Rondo are actually both very intelligent people, not just on the court but off. You know, Brad was working at a pharmaceutical giant beforehand. You know, Rondo is to connect forward what Bobby Fischer is to chess. Very good at math, whatnot. I think that there'll be kind of a meeting at the minds, and they could potentially get along pretty well on that end.
Yeah, it's an interesting time anyway for Rondo, given that he's had 7 seasons. This is his 8th season. He had the injury. We should get an update on that. Injury good? All okay?
You know, all indications are that everything's on schedule, but, you know, given the fact that the Celtics aren't going to, I mean, they're not playing for a title this coming season, I don't think there's necessarily any rush to get him back. If he's ready by training camp, fine, but, you know, I don't think they're also going to be like, you know, we need you back by this point. So if he's not playing back by Christmas, I won't be surprised.
Okay. I think Brad Stevens he comes off as a very bright guy, as you're talking about. Right away he said, I've loved Rajon Rondo's game for years, so there's sort of that placating right up front. If it's going well for Rondo, it means he's connecting with 2 or 3 guys. Who are those 2 or 3 guys? This is strictly from getting the points and getting it done.
The guys that I think he'll be connecting on the team with, let's say, I think he'll probably get along with Avery Bradley and Jeff Green the most, given that those are guys who played before. But I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you know, Rondo is the last man standing. Paul Pierce is gone, Kevin Garnett's gone, Ray Allen's gone. I don't, you know, it's going to be a big question of how Rondo feels. I mean, and Doc Rivers also. So, you know, as the last guy there, and with a coach who has no NBA experience and a lot of young guys on the roster, I mean, you know, Rondo is the main question heading into the season.
He's the main question, and whether we like this or not, whether we can believe it or not, these are the Rajon Rondo Celtics, for good or bad.